Yeah, I may have announced it. I think I'm right. I think first this goes in there and there.
It makes sense.
I think that's what it is. You hear my couch? It's calling me.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Leora didn't respond to my text, but I think it's fine.
Would you like an extra? It just so happens that I planned for this moment, Emma. It's not stapled.
Yes.
They're not stapled. Oh, that's so cute. That sounds very temporary. Oh, you're not allowed to ask. I had read her text before, and I was like, oh, that's good. Well, so telling that, like, of course, that would be an example. He was not happy, right? You're the good chick. You're the natural. All right, we ready to do this again? Yeah, but no, this one's it's a little bit more relaxed because it's like we don't say the exact same. Like we can intro how we intro a prayer the way we want to, and like we're all listening to it. She's wonderful. She's wonderful. We're good.
And this is the moment when Villa showed her out. But I did
Oh,
like
they're
that
not
it was
gossiping?
like,
I've been gossiping all day. The day's not over, so like, I mean, you are. I'm sorry for it, but I'm the worst. I'm the worst. And don't start me on the URJ because that will just, All right. This is mine. You have a copy.
I don't mean to insert this all of a sudden, but it's
Yeah. All right. Would you like to start the motif? Tone setter, Modani. Then you go do the thing. Okay.
Yai da die 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 yai da die 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 yai da die 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 yai die yai da die da die yai da die yai die yai da die 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 yai da die 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 yai die 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 die
Shana Tova and Gemar Chatima Tova. It's really wonderful to be together again on this Yom Kippur in our tent, so a few more people are taking their seats. Dear God, so far today, God, I've done okay. I haven't broken anything. I haven't said anything bad about anybody. I haven't fought with my sibling, and I haven't stepped on my cat's tail. But in a few minutes, God, I'm going to get out of bed. And then from then on, I am probably going to need a lot more help. How many of us have ever felt this way? You know, we wake up in the morning and like the mom in Dear Evan Hansen, and she says, today is going to be a great day. Today I'm going to do all of my chores. I'm going to do all of my homework. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to talk about other people. And parents, we also have our lists as well. And our list can go on. And what usually happens, we try to do our best, but we always know that we can do better. So first of all, on Yom Kippur, we should always recognize the good that we do. We do a lot of what is asked of us, our chores, our homework, being good to people and nice to people. But we also do a lot that is not asked of us. Those things that we just know are the right thing to do, like being helpful, being a good listener, being a good friend, and treating others how we'd like to be treated. But today is, after all, Yom Kippur. It's the day when we're supposed to take a deeper look inside of ourselves and ask, how am I doing? Who should I say I'm sorry to? And how can I do and be better? There's a saying that goes, it's easier said than done. So yes, we should listen better to our teachers and our parents. And sure, we could fight less with our siblings. And yes, we should certainly look out for our cat's tail. But if you really think about it, trying to be better is hard to do because change is really hard. But that's what today is all about. It's about taking the time to take stock and think about who we are and how we treat ourselves, how we treat one another, and even how we treat God. One way of starting the process is realizing how thankful we are for what we have. So please join us on page 96 in your brown prayer book for Moda Ani.
Moda ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam, shehechezarta b'nishmati b'chemla, b'chemla, rava emunatecha.
So while Moda Ani is a song of gratitude, big picture, thank you, God, for getting up in the morning. I think there are a lot of other things that we can be grateful for, and we've had a whole 10 days since we've been together, a new year of new beginnings. Did something like pretty important start in the past 10 days? Yeah, what started? School started. So hopefully there are a lot of things we're grateful for, either related to school or otherwise. So turn to the people that you're with, the people that you love. Think of something that happened in the past 10 days since Rosh Hashanah that you are grateful for, and then we'll get a couple people to share out. So as wonderful as it was to hear the general hum of shared conversation, part of our tradition is calling those blessings out loud, acknowledging them together. And so I'm going to do my little running around again. I wore slightly more comfortable shoes this time. And I'd love to hear from some people about what they have been grateful for in the past 10 days, and we will bless those blessings together. So who would like to share first? We've got one hand. 1 second. What are you grateful for?
Our birthday.
Your birthday.
Birthday?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right, so we're going to join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We're thankful for birthdays.
Amen. What about you?
My grandmother's party and everybody and basically my whole family was there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so his grandmother's party, basically the whole family was there. Can we say family gatherings? That's cool.
Okay. Family gatherings. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We're thankful for family gatherings.
Amen.
Amen. What about you?
I'm thankful for my best friends.
That's a good one for best friends.
Best friends. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We're thankful for best friends and friends.
Amen.
Not necessarily best ones.
And let's take one more. I'm sorry I'm not getting to everyone. I'm just going to preemptively, I'll hate for that.
Great teachers.
Great teachers.
Great teachers. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We're thankful for great teachers.
Amen.
And because there are so many things that we're grateful for, so many that I can't come around and collect them all, we're going to do one more big blessing, thanking God, thanking each other for these miracles in our lives. And so we'll say the beginning together. I'll turn the mic to you so you can shout out all these things that we're grateful for.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We're thankful for.
Amen.
A cacophony of gratitude.
And with this gratitude filling our ears, filling our souls, we rise to begin our worship with the Baruch Hu.
We're on page 112.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamivorach hamivorach Baruch Adonai hamivorach leolam va'ed.
We're on page 119. You are the one who unites all things, who links life to life in a sacred chain. The forests anchored in the soil breathe air into our lungs. Our faces are reflected in the creatures of earth. We carry the sea within us. Our fate is connected to rivers and deserts, our family a many-branched tree of life. All beings intertwine in you, all are encompassed in Adonai Echad. Thus, no man is an island, no soul exists apart. To say Echad is to know this truth, to see the world whole, humankind undivided. Precious and holy are these words we speak. Adonai Echad, we proclaim you one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated. We turn to the Ve'ahavta, page 122. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha, b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, uvshochbecha, uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam, Amazuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim leloyechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem leElohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem.
So as we prepare to sing our people's freedom song, we're especially reminded on Yom Kippur that each one of us is free to choose our words, to choose our actions, to choose our attitudes in the year ahead, and how grateful we are for that freedom. Page 124.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, shira chadasha shetikulim, et l'shimcha asfat hayam, yachad kulam hodu duvim lechu ve'yameru, Adonai loch le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed.
Yom Kippur is a powerful day, and we rise together for our Amidah to be together as one community before God, seeking holiness. Please join with us on page 127.
Yadadai, dai, dai, 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 yadadai, dai, dai. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Yadadai, dai, dai, 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 yadadai, dai, dai.
Page 128. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Zochreinu Lechaim, Melech Hafetz B'Chaim, V'chotvenu b'sefer ha'chaim, Lemancha Elohim Chaim, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Page 132. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Michayei hakol atah rav lehoshia, morid hatal, Michalkel chayim bechesed, Michayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'al givurot umidome lach. Melech meimit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua. Michamocha el harachamim zocher yitzurav. Lechaim, lechaim berachamim, v'ne'emanata lahachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol. Please be seated. We are on our blue handout. Our Unatana Tokef prayer imagines that on Rosh Hashanah our names are inscribed in the book of life, and that today on Yom Kippur we imagine that they are sealed. Berosh Hashanah Yikatevun Uvyom Som Kippur, Uvyom Som Kippur, Yechatemun. On Rosh Hashanah we reflect, on Yom Kippur we consider, who shall be filled with life and who shall merely exist? Who shall burn with the fires of greed? Who shall drown in the waters of despair? Who shall hunger for goodness? Who shall thirst for justice and right? Whose sharp tongue shall speak unkindly? Whose gentle words shall make for peace? Who shall be plagued by the fear of the world? Who shall strangle for lack of friends? Who shall be shattered by the storms of change? Who shall be plagued by the pressure to conform? Who, like beasts, shall use violence to gain power? Who shall shake up the world with just actions? Who shall be calm in every storm? Who shall be troubled by the passing breeze? Who shall be poor, never appreciating what they have? And who shall be rich, content with exactly what is theirs? Utshuva, utfilah, utzedakah, me'avirin et roa chagzera. But through the return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. We continue on page 148. We read together 148. Our God and God of the generations before us, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace on this day of atonement. We take a moment now for our own personal and private silent prayers.
Say shalom bimromav, huya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru oh, say shalom bimroma, huya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, Oh, say shalom bimbroma. Huya asi shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru. Amen.
On this day where we're thinking about improving ourselves and our most important relationships, we want to spend some time reflecting on a Jewish value called Shalom Bayit. Does anyone know what the word shalom means? We just sang it a lot of times. Go for it. Peace. Beautiful. Thank you. What's your name? So peace. Peace is the first word of our value. And bayit. Has anyone heard the word bayit before? Might have a guess for what it means? All the way back there in the checkered shirt, shout really loud. House. That was a good mask shout. So Shalom Bayit is peace in our houses. And it's a value that we really want to reflect on, not only because this theme of learning at Larchmont Temple this year is about home and returning home, but also because home is where our work starts, and we want to envision the kinds of homes that we want to create with our families. So hopefully everyone got this beautiful worksheet from the front with a pencil. And if you didn't, there are plenty more. So I'd love to invite all of our clusters, pods, families, whoever's here, to spend some time reflecting on this year that passed, and in the year to come, what we want to keep in our home, the good qualities, the conversations, sharing, love, whatever it is that is good, that is in your home, that you want to keep inside. And then if there are things that are maybe not so good that were there this past year, maybe it was yelling, maybe it was fighting or disagreements, those get to go on the outside. And so take some time with your family to think about what you want to keep with you and maybe what you want to leave behind. All right. So, in the year to come, what are some things that we want to leave outside of our homes? What are some things that we want to leave behind in 5781? Wow, we've got some hands already. Okay, one sec. What are we leaving behind?
Germs.
Germs. Okay, raise your hand if you're on board for that. Leaving germs behind. We've got another one. Rudeness. We definitely want to leave rudeness outside of our homes in the next year. What else are we leaving behind?
Short tempers.
Short tempers. May we all have long and healthy tempers. Yes.
Anger.
Anger. So we've got rudeness, anger, short tempers. Let's take one more.
Cursing.
Cursing. Let's only use kind language. Absolutely. So those are some of the things that we're going to leave outside the walls of our home. But what do we want to fill our homes with? What are some things that we want to go inside? Let's start with you.
Positivity.
Positivity. Beautiful. We want positivity. What else?
Love.
Love. Let's fill our homes with love. I've been ignoring the sides. I'm so sorry. What else are we filling our homes with?
I want to fill our home with music and laughing.
Music and laughing. Oh my goodness, what an amazing home we're building together. Positivity, love, music, laughing. Let's take another one.
Patience.
Patience. We could all use a little patience. Let's take one more. Sorry.
Kindness.
And kindness. How lucky we would be to live in these homes. And luckily, all of you who have envisioned these worlds, you live in them already. And so as we transition to be Dewey, let's think of all these homes that we're building and what we're leaving behind and what we're taking with us.
I'm talking first. It's not that long, but so. Okay. So I'm going to teach how we get a little quiet in Kesher. If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. We didn't even need to do it 3 times. So that's how we do Sheket Bavakasha in Kesher. So this past summer, those of us watching the Olympics witnessed something extraordinary happen. Simone Biles, who is considered the GOAT, that is the great, does everyone know what the GOAT is? The greatest of all time. She's the GOAT of women's gymnastics. She pulled out of the team competition and most of her individual competitions. At first, I was so disappointed. As someone who cannot even do a split or a cartwheel, I absolutely love sitting on my couch with my snacks and watching all the things that the gymnasts can do during the Olympics. I also love ice skating during the Winter Olympics, so I'm always set. It turns out that what Simone Biles does is not so easy, even though she makes it look really easy. And she had a case of what's called in gymnastics the twisties, which meant that suddenly her body and her mind became out of sync with one another, and she could completely lose her sense of balance in where she was when she was doing one of her fancy flips, which is obviously very dangerous, and therefore she pulled out of the competitions. I was ready for fans everywhere in the world to pounce on her. What? It's the Olympics. Don't you know that I want to sit on my couch with my snacks and watch all of this amazing stuff? Can't you get it together? Isn't this what you've been training for? Aren't you supposed to be the greatest of all time? Instead, all of Simone Biles' fans really supported her. I think it's because she was being honest with herself about what she could and could not do. She was teaching all of us about how important it is to truly know yourself, to know your limitations, and to know when you're truly ready and prepared for the next thing that life throws at us. Having the support of her fans meant the world to her because Simone Biles learned that even though she has struggles, she is not alone. We are about to start the section of our Yom Kippur service called Vidui. It means confession, and it's the part of the Yom Kippur service where we list all the things we haven't gotten quite right over the past year. But what's interesting is that in the Hebrew, it's written in the plural. We have been unkind. We have been selfish. We have gossiped. So did each of us do all of those things? Probably not. But we say the word we because in some way, we all have the twisties. We might call it the unkindies, or the selfishies, or the gossipies. You can make up the other ones. The list goes on and on. We are on page 163.
Is anyone here in 5th grade? Put your hands up. You can put them down. I just wanted to read the room. So a couple years ago, I taught 5th grade Hebrew school, and we were studying, we didn't call it Kesher. I know. It wasn't Kesher. It was Hebrew school. And we were discussing the Vidui, this confession that we're all about to do together. And there's a tradition that during the Vidui, you make a fist, and every time you say a sin, you tap your heart with it. And my students and I, we were talking about what this meant, why we did it. And we tried to figure it out. One of my students said, I think it's to punish yourself. You're kind of hitting yourself for doing something wrong. Most of us weren't thrilled with that. We don't love the idea of self-hurt. Another student said, well, maybe it's to wake yourself up. You're a little tired, you need to really pay attention to your sin. And the way I'm looking at this room right now, we've got some bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kids, so I don't know if any of you need to wake up. You're with me. But then the last student said, I think it's sort of like knocking on a door. You need to knock on your heart so that it can be open, so that you can do the work of repentance, so that you can forgive yourself and forgive others. So I'll invite everyone to rise, page 163, for this Vidui, and let our hearts be open to doing better next time.
Lie, 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 ya la la lie, 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 ya lie, 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 ya la la lie, 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 ya la lie, 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 lie. Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu Dofi, Yai lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai. Hevinu, Vehir Shanu, Zadnu, Hamasnu, Tafanu Shaker, Yatsnura, Kizavnu, Latsnu, Maradnu, Niatsnu, Sararnu, Avinu, Pashanu, Sararnu, Kishinu Oref, Yai lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai. Rashanu,
Rashanu,
Shichatnu,
Shigatnu,
Tiavnu,
Tiavnu,
Tainu,
Tainu,
Titanu.
Titanu.
Yai lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai. We read together on the other side of our blue handout where it says, Al Chet, we have missed the mark. And we read this together. We have missed the mark by accident and on purpose, by the way we speak, by wronging our neighbor, by mocking parents and teachers, by being violent, by bad language, by giving in to our bad impulses. For all these, O God of forgiveness, pardon us, forgive us, grant us atonement. Ve'al kulam elo aslichot, selach lanu mechalanu, kaper lanu. We keep reading together. We have missed the mark by deceit and falsehood, by accidentally gossiping, by looking down on other people, by judging others too quickly, by being selfish, by being stubborn, by not keeping promises. For all of these, O God of forgiveness, pardon us, forgive us, and grant us atonement. Ve'al kulam elo haslichot, selach lanu mechalanu, kaper lanu. And as we're seated, we take another moment of personal reflection to think about how we want to improve, who we want to say sorry to, and what we want to do better in the coming year.
Last week, we talked about the different ways that we think of parents and sovereigns, kings and queens. We thought of words like powerful, kind, caring, polite. And as we turn to Avinu Malkeinu, our father, our parent, our king, our queen, we remember especially today that God is a source of forgiveness, that God, like a parent, helps us figure out how to make things better, how to apologize, how to move forward. And God holds us to high standards so that we continue to be the best versions of ourselves. Please rise for Avinu Malkeinu on page 181.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chaneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu v'chaneinu v'aneinu ki ein banu ma'asim.
We remain standing for our Torah service.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, u'devar l'Adonai miYerushalayim. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu,
Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai iti, Udiromim Shemo Yachdav.
Lecha Adonai HaGevura, v'hatzivura, v'hatziferet, v'chanetzat l'rachot. Ki chol b'shamayim udvar eretz, ki chol b'shamayim udvar eretz. Adonai v'malacha, something, something, something. Yay, learning!
Sometimes rabbis can't sing and undress the Torah all at the same time.
Yay!
Please be seated.
In our Torah reading today, we see Moses charging the Israelites with the opportunities and the obligations to hold up their commandments, their covenant with God. And when Moses speaks to them, he says he's talking to all of them, all of Israel standing there, those who were there now, those who will be there in the future, the wood chopper and the water drawer, every person, men, women, children, all people. They are responsible for upholding this commandment or these commandments. And so we read these words on Yom Kippur as a reminder that each one of us, the third grader and the fifth grader, the kindergartner, the grown-up, the parent, the caregiver, all of us are responsible. All of us are included in this covenant to be blessings unto the world, to choose life, and to uphold the commitments to which we are so blessed to have. So we are going to all together bless the Torah reading. Once again, all of us standing together, although they can sit, right? You can sit. So together we will give thanks for this reading of the Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem, Rashechem shivtechem, Ziknehem v'shotrechem kol ish Yisrael, Tapchem nishechem v'gerecha asher bekerev mechanecha, mechotev etzecha ad sho'ev memecha levracha bivrit, Adonai Elohecha uvalato, asher Adonai Elohecha koreit imcha hayom, leman hakimotcha hayom lo le'am, v'hu yihelecha le'elohim ka'asher diber lach, v'ka'asher nishba lavotecha la'avraham li'yitzchak u'ya'akov, ve'lo itchem levadachem, anochi koreit et habrit hazot, ve'et ha'olah hazot, ki et asher yeshno ho imanu omed hayom lifnei Adonai Eloheinu, et asher einenu ho imanu hayom.
Yasher koach.
You shall stand this day, all of you, in the presence of Adonai your God, your tribal heads, elders, and officials, every man, woman, and child of Israel, and the stranger in the midst of your camp, from the ones who cuts your wood to the one who draws your water, to enter into the covenant of Adonai your God, and the oath that Adonai your God makes with you this day, to establish you as God's people and to be your God, as promised to you and sworn to your ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And not with you alone do I make this covenant and this oath, but with each one who stands here among us this day in the presence of Adonai our God, and with each one who is not here among us this day.
Amen. We close with the closing of the blessing of the Torah. All together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
And it's this part in our service, and especially this past year and a half, we are always praying for those who are sick, whether they're sick with something physical, a physical ailment, or something emotional or spiritual. And this year especially, we're so aware of how many people are sick and how much people need our prayers for healing. So please join us for Misha Berach on page 191.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha V'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha V'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shleiman, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
I now invite up Rabbi Lisa Rubin, a member of our community, for Hagbah, which is the lifting of the Torah. Then we're going to dress it, and then it's going to come around. In COVID times, we're not really touching the Torah and then kissing ourselves. We're blowing kisses to the Torah. So that's what we'll do. Emma, yes.
Hi, Rabbi Rudin. I have a question.
Sure.
We just read something about if you are a Tem and we're Nitzavim, we stand here today and remember the dream. Can that be a song that we
That
sing
could
during
be a song that we
Hanukkah?
sing.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh,
yes.
look
We've
at
learned
that.
that song in Kesher. Okay.
I'm a little excited. V'zot ha'Torah asher sal Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael avi Adonai b'yad Moshe. All right, we're gonna Kehila Kedosha this puppy. If you know the words, sing with me. They are, if you are a Tem, then we're Nitzavim. Here we go. If you are a Tem, then we're Nitzavim. We stand here today, and remember the dream. If you are a Tem, then we're Nitzavim. We stand here today and remember the dream. Kehila, Kedosha, Kehila, Kedosha, Kehila, Kedosha, Kehila, Kedosha, Yai-da-dai-dai-dai-dai, Yai-da-dai-dai-dai-dai. Nope, that's not the key. Team. Sweet, thank you. Can everyone say thank you, Yael? Awesome. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu לעסוק בדברי תורה, לעסוק בדברי תורה. Sweet as honey, sweet as let us soak it up, sweet as let it all sink in, sweet as honey on sweet words of Torah, sweet as let us soak it up, sweet as let it all sink in, sweet as honey on our tongue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu לעסוק בדברי תורה, לעסוק בדברי תורה. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on sweet words of Torah, sweet as let us soak it up, sweet as let it all sink in, sweet as honey on sweet words of sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Last time, let me hear you. Sweet as honey, good. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Can I what?
Please be seated. Yes, but it's okay. No, I don't think you did. Oh, well, so. Okay, so Yom Kippur, we're here all day. Actually, we're here all night. Well, not all night, but so there's still lots to come for both Yom Kippur and some upcoming holidays. So for the rest of the day, a lot of the TED Talks are currently going on. So adults, if you get a chance to tune into one of our TED Talks, please do so. At 4:30 and 5:45, we have two Yizkor services. We have a double set of services for Yizkor. And come back at about, I'd say, at 5:45, 6:30 is Ne'ilah here in the tent. It's a really, really wonderful, wonderful service. We have Havdalah. It's a really, really wonderful place to be, especially for families. Larfti, and more importantly, the people who will be eating the food, really thank everyone for all of their food donations that you made today for our High Holiday Food Drive. On Monday is the holiday of Sukkot. My mother always says, like, why did God make all these Jewish holidays like come at once? And I said, to keep, rabbis busy. But on Monday night is Erev Sukkot. And at 6 p.m., we're inviting everyone to come. The tent will magically be gone. And come with a picnic blanket and a picnic dinner. And Sukkot is our harvest holiday. So we have two ways that we're going to celebrate Sukkot. One is that we're going to actually do some planting, and I believe you get to bring it home. I don't know if they're flowers or vegetables, but it'll be a fun planting activity. And second, we've been collecting non-perishable goods for the High Holiday Food Drive, things like pasta and cans and things like that. On Sukkot, because it's our harvest holiday, we're actually going to collect perishables, fruits and vegetables. And many of our learners last year, if you were in Kesher last year, met a young man named Dan Zouderer. He grew up here at Larchmont Temple, and he was our mitzvah hero. He's all grown up, and he's a teacher in the Bronx. And during COVID, he knew this before, but it became exacerbated during COVID, that he noticed that so many of his learners, so many of his kids, there was scarcity of food in their homes. And he especially learned this because he was Zooming with them. So he started something called the Mott Haven Fridge Project. Mott Haven is a section of the Bronx. And what they've done is they've plugged in refrigerators to the outside of certain storefronts, and anybody at any time can go up to the refrigerator and take what they need. And we all, first of all, when he came to talk to our kids, he talked about, like, we all open our refrigerators and there's things in the refrigerator. But that's not so for everybody. So we honored him last year as a mitzvah hero. I know so many of our families have actually volunteered and gone and gotten cars full of things and delivered them to refrigerators. So on Monday at Sukkot, we're going to take a collection of fruits and vegetables. Be on the lookout. I know that so many of you know that there's so many people in our own community who were devastated by Hurricane Ida. There are so many opportunities to volunteer, to collect things, to deliver things, to build things. So please be on the lookout. We have a very wonderful social action committee here at the temple, and we have many, many, many opportunities. I'm going to see a lot of our young people this week. So our Kesher opening day for K-4 is on Sunday. And this week's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are also opening days for whatever your schedule is if you're older. And Family Discovery starts next Sunday. So we're really, 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 really excited for our Kesher year. A few thank yous and introductions. I do want to introduce our new youth engagement coordinator. Her name is Yael. So she's joined our Larchmont Temple community. Up here on the bima for our family service is rabbinic intern extraordinaire, Lily Goldstein. And over here, we said it last week, but she's made a return, Emma Rayfeld, our music and tefillah coordinator. We love singing with you. And I'm still not Rabbi Leora Frankel, but Rabbi Leora Frankel is now the mother of 3 children and not 2. So she had her baby this week, and she sends her love and her well wishes, and we can all wave to her on the. I think she's watching. So let us all stand up. And on Yom Kippur, the day keeps going. So we don't conclude with Aleinu and Mourner's Kaddish. We keep going because we know that we want to see lots of you back in Ne'ilah. But we're going to put your hands, if you're comfortable with your pod family, the group that you came with, that you feel safe to do so that with. And we are going to invoke our most historic blessing, the priestly blessing that comes from the Torah. And I just closed your book. Okay. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you. You need a mic.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God shine God's face upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God lift God's face to you and give you peace.
We say together, Amen.
Amen.
What are we closing with, Emma?
Well, we were going to close with Shana Tova. I think we can still close with that.
I think
Why
we can.
not?
Yeah.
Lishana Tova Tikatevu, Lishana Tova Tikatevu, a good year, a sweet new year, happy new year. Lishana Tova Tikatevu, Lishana Tova Tikatevu, a good year, a sweet new year, happy new year.
Shana Tova, Gamar Chatima Tova, an easy fast for those of you fasting. Please put your books on the table.